Hello students, in this session we will discuss some trick to write conjugate acid and conjugate base. According to Bronsted-Lowry concept, acid which is a substance which has tendency to donate proton. Base is a substance which has tendency to accept proton. So acid is a proton donor and base is a proton acceptor species. You consider an acid, it donates one proton and it forms a conjugate base. Likewise, base is an base which accepts one proton and it forms conjugate acid. Usually here strong acid forms weak conjugate base. Weak acid forms strong conjugate base. Strong base forms weak conjugate acid and strong and weak base forms strong conjugate acid. So strong forms weak. Strong forms weak. Here we have a trick to find the conjugate acid and conjugate base. Okay. So first, if the question is to find the conjugate acid, you add H plus ions into it. If the question is to find conjugate base, you just remove H plus ions from the following acid. So here, the question, find the conjugate acid of the following bases. Here, ammonia is a base. To find conjugate acid, just add H plus ions from the following bases. If you add the H plus ions, what will be your answer? Here, just you are adding H plus ion. So, NH3, you are adding H plus ion. So, NH3 plus H plus you are adding. So, NH4 plus is your answer. If you are adding H plus ion into the base OH minus, you are just adding on H plus ion. So, H plus add out the, what's your answer? H2O. Then, you are adding on H plus ions in the base HCO3 minus. You are adding H plus. So, plus minus cancel H2CO3. You are adding on H plus ions from the base C2H5NH2. You are adding C2H5NH3 plus ClO3 minus plus H plus what ClO3. So plus and minus get cancel each other. To find the conjugate base, of the acids. To find the conjugate base, see here, you remove H plus ion. Remove the H plus ions. So, water, if you are removing H plus ion, if you are removing H plus ions, you will get OH minus as a conjugate base. If you are removing H plus ions, dissociate H plus and NO3 minus. This will be your conjugate base. If you are removing NH4 plus H plus ion from NH4 plus H plus, your conjugate base will be ammonia. If you are removing HCO3 minus 1. If you are removing, so H plus, already here minus 1 charge. So CO3 minus 1 charge. Again it dissociate another one minus 1 charge. So CO3 minus 2. So CO3 minus 2 is your conjugate base. So please take a screenshot of this page. Thank you students.